Mike, what do you think of when you see the letters WTF? What do you think about when that comes to mind?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Any other acronyms? I guess if you want to.
Any other ones? I can't. No, what the freak?
With the freak, with the fudge, with the fudge pop. Pause. Welcome to the House of Boom. We have a sponsor, Clean Everything LLC, the best cleaning company in the tri-state. They clean everything: houses, garages, basements, your hoarder problems, your Airbnb, your restaurant, your food truck. If you got it need it clean, they do it. So just follow them here at Clean Everything LLC. Tell them Boom sent you. Boom. House of Boom podcast. Boom sent you, and get 10% off your first cleaning. Now, getting to the WTF. I was about to say getting to the WTF.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Today I have a special guest. This guy is a comedian, an actor, a food truck owner. Is it anything that you don't do?
Yeah, there's some other stuff, but I can't talk about it on camera.
Okay. He's a hitman. He's a street sweeper.
With the street sweeper.
He is what's that term we use instead of handyman?
Oh, professional residential services.
He probably is a professional residential services provider. Or do you provide residential service provider?
I do to the ladies, but I can't speak about it on camera. Okay. My wife might be watching.
We got Tim McRae in the building, the Renaissance man. What's going on, man? How you feeling today?
Well, first of all, brother, thank you for having me on the House of Boom. All right, so getting me here is a nice little journey. We here, and we're gonna chop it up today, man. We're gonna have some fun.
You got to do the House of Boom.
Oh, you want to get crazy? Okay, no problem. You said I talk fast, so I'm trying to slow it down. Yeah. So take it back to wherever you want me to drop it. I'll go
No. We going right through it. Okay. So where are you at? The House of what?
House of Boom. I'm going to it.
No.
I got you.
We not cutting this out.
Yeah,
you at the?
No. This is live.
This
baby.
is live. Yeah.
17,000 people watching.
I ain't know. We in the House of Boom. You ain't tell me to get crazy with it. You said, yo, mellow down, man. You kind of loud.
Yeah. So yesterday I pulled up to his restaurant. We did a drop at the restaurant. It was fire. Then he just hit me with some other energy. I was like, I need like if I ever get into professional boxing or like wrestling or something, I'm gonna just have you out there in front, like,
be a hype
House
man.
of Boom, like on the mic. You know, let's get ready to rumble. And just give him the mic to you. And then, welcome to the House of Boom. We gonna take
That's what's up, man. That's what's
up. So how I met Tim McRae. If you don't know, I was I guess I could say I cameoed in a movie called Liquor Run. It was a really comedic, fun movie, and we had this scene where we were at it's called Bingo Night.
Man, that's the wildest
Bingo night
ever.
It's crazy. The movie didn't even do it justice because they cut out some of the stuff.
Yes, they did.
But I'm sitting at a table, and of course, I'm the guy who doesn't smoke, and they be like, "Oh, well, you the weed man." I'm like, "All right, cool."
Meanwhile, I'm high as hell sitting there looking at him.
So if you see the movie, you'll see what I'm doing at the table, and then it's like some crazy hijinks going on in the movie. And across from me is his brother, and he's taking money off his head while he's doing something. What was you doing?
I was sniffing the marker.
The marker.
G-pie, you know what I mean? I didn't get too crazy with it.
And when I say the brother was committed, he was committed. Like the marker wasn't like here. The marker was in. I hope the top was on.
Oh no, the top was off. I was high as hell. I was high as giraffe ass.
But the crazy thing is, I was watching you do it, I was like, this dude is in second grade right now, because you know how it is when you in school, man, you just looking at the marker, and then it's like the red one and the blue one, you like, I wonder if this smell like cherry, like, and then you start smelling, not realizing you get high, but you know what I mean.
And I was that dude, man. I was sniffing glue and all that stuff. So that was my first rounds of getting high, you know.
Yeah, man. And so the dope thing is that he hit me up and he's like, yo, I'm in the podcast and all this other stuff. And I took a look at his profile. I was like, bro, you doing everything. Like, you know what I mean? Is it a food truck and a restaurant, or is
No,
it
it's
just
not a food truck. So we sold the food truck in 2018
Okay.
to focus on brick and mortars.
Okay.
So I had a plan, you know what I mean? I know most of us don't plan, but I do.
Okay.
So I had a 5-year plan, do the food truck, then go into brick and mortars, and now eventually my goal is to franchise.
Okay.
So I did my 5 years from 2013 to about 2018. Then we found our first spot, and then we moved to our second spot. So we're trying to franchise and get locations, hopefully up and down the East Coast. But that's my goal. If the creator is willing, and I'm going to speak it into existence. So it's got to happen.
It's got to happen.
And I'm talking right here on Boom, the House of Boom. So it's got to happen now.
It's got to happen because you spoken in the House of Boom.
Yeah.
So you do that, but you have acting, and then you have a background in music. So we ain't gonna spend all the episode on your journey.
Oh yeah, that's
We could talk.
that would be a whole nother episode.
But just take us through the journey.
All right, real quick. Started out in music, as you know, 50 years of hip hop. So I won't tell you my age, but I was there when hip hop was, when I used to love her. So started out with hip hop, Tony D, Trenton. We had Poor Righteous Teachers, Boulevard Massey, Strong Peeps. One thing about Jersey, we always showed love to every Jersey artist. So we always flowed around, and everybody got down with each other. But real quick, Tony D had made this track, and this group from Newark had used the sample. I ain't gonna say their name because I still love them, but man, they tore that joint up, and they made a song called OPP out of it.
Ooh.
So Tony D is deceased now, so we ain't gonna go into that. He's not here to defend himself. But shout out to Naughty by Nature, they still rocking. And that's just one of the little Trenton stories. A lot of people don't know that, but we ain't trying to start no beef. We just trying to tell the truth. That's all. You know what I mean? So I was there for that. So when he did that breakbeat album, they ended up using one of the breakbeats and they made OPP out of it. And that joint went to the moon and back. So I ain't gotta tell you about the rest of that. You already know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so started out with music, and then I was managing my nephew Mo Flex. We had a group called Strong Peeps. Consisted of me, my man Terry, and Mo. And we was just doing shows, man, and we, had this little joint called Living It. So once again, we shopping the record all around, and we ended up at, I think it was Black Sean. And I don't know if he's still in the business, but he is. Shout out to Black Sean. But they were shopping the record, so we get a call one day. Like, yo, man, your record's blowing up. It's overseas, it's on the N1 mixtape, it's here, it's there, it's everywhere. So what happened was, Cool G Rap ended up stealing the joint.
Wow.
And he called it My Life. So our joint was called Living It. His joint was called My Life. So the sample that Tony D grabbed was from the Finea All-Stars. So they like Menudo. So they had like interchangeable members. So there's like 2,800 records that they had, 50 different members.
Wow.
So this record, he couldn't find the sample and how Tone chopped it. So they basically flipped over our instrumental and just rocked on it and added a little break beat. You know what I mean? So we ain't mad, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. It's a part of history. But back in the 80s and 90s and early hip hop, everybody used everybody's sample. So, nobody was clearing nothing back then. So we ain't take nobody to court.
What's funny? We had Elder Sensei on here a while back, and he was talking about, he said the same similar thing. He's like, yo, everybody uses everybody's sample.
It's like reggae
but
music.
It's about what you bring to the music
Right.
and stuff like that.
Right.
What flavor that you add to it.
Right.
So it's really dope. It's almost interesting that you're echoing those sentiments and just.
It came from hip hop, man, from the mud.
Okay.
50 years of hip hop, I was there.
Okay.
Don't let me beg for you.
Was you there at the beginning of the 50
I was,
years?
I was there. I was there at the beginning, brother. I might have been 3.
Yeah.
But yes, I was there.
All right, so if y'all can do the math, y'all can figure out.
Nah,
how
straight
old
up, I'm
you is.
53. 53, bro. Been there, done it. You know what I mean? Still love it. You know what I mean? It's changing now, learning to adapt. A lot of older guys is kind of putting the young guys down for the way they doing it. Listen, that's their flavor, man. They laughed at us back then. Putting creases in our leads, sewing them in. You know what I mean? The B-boy stance. You know how hard it took to keep your feet like that all the time? You know what I mean? Knees all messed up. You know what I'm saying? Stand like this. The mean face. Like, man, we had fun with it, though. So every generation's going to do it different, man. We love hip-hop, and I'm always going to love it.
So a really dope thing is a lot of people are getting to know as we have our producer and house producer. He actually used to rap in iWise, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so he was out there musically,
Okay.
and had some dope beats and dope sounds and dope tracks and dope things to listen to. Are you familiar with Tony D and all the people that he's talking about?
I'll be honest, when my music journey was shielded if that makes sense. Like I wasn't really ingesting a lot of artists, only because back in the day, being your own person, having your own sound, having your own name, that was like your claim to fame. Not like now where it's rinse and repeat. But back then it was like, if you sounded like somebody, your name was similar to somebody, you were deemed a biter, and that was it. It was a dub. So for me, being familiar with a lot of different artists, it was really only the people that was in my circle that I rocked with, because you build up a synergy. You know, you got a workout buddy, y'all working out for a while, you build the synergy. Same thing with chefing it up. You build the synergy. And with me and my team, by building that synergy with each other, we kind of had a sound that wasn't like nobody. We wasn't really checking for nobody. We wasn't really in competition with nobody either. It was more so competition with ourselves to see what we could do better this next time than we did last time. So, yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So we all have a background in music, except for me. Well, I'm not gonna say no.
Come on, you got something. I know you played
No. This is. I wouldn't. Well, no. Oh, I did sing it. I did sing in the church choir. That was it. But that was for the bass came in. So you know.
And what was your favorite song in the church choir? I put him on the spot. Look, we done turned the mic on.
It was some Kirk Franklin song. Nah, it was greater love. Do you want to revolute? That's my joke.
Okay. Yeah, got you.
Stomp? That was your joint?
Yeah. That was fire. And but I will say that musically, I guess the House of Boom and how we have set up, even this coming into this space, and it being almost the perfect space for me, was influenced by Rhapsody and Big Tigger.
The basement.
Like that's the vibe. Like when I came here, I was like, yes. And I would say I was a 106 in Park, Rhapsody in the Basement, like faithful to that.
You can tell.
So it kind of gave, like when I came here, Mike was like, yo, you like one of the first people to really put your imprint here.
Should.
Besides the other podcasts that came in, he said I could tell, not realizing that because I was always watching Rhapsody in the Basement, Big Tigger and all that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I had the idea, the seeds of an idea of what I wanted to do. Exactly. So yeah, we definitely are all influenced. Yeah.
And you did a good job too, man. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I like your set, bro. So when I check out people's podcasts, first thing I do is I look at their set and I'm like, yeah, this guy's serious about what he's doing. Yeah. I like that.
I appreciate it. And it's kind of funny because you were saying something like, well, sometimes people hit you up. What happens?
I'm gonna keep it real because now they're gonna see this and be like, oh, that's why he ain't hit me back. I check their podcasts out. Listen, everybody wants to do something. You gotta be serious about your craft. If I look at your podcast and you're not set up and you don't know what you're doing, you just got a table and you got a curtain in the background, that's all good if you're just starting out. But if you're trying to take it to that next level, you have to level up. And some people don't level up. So when they call me, I kind of be like, yeah, I'm a little booked right now to like next never. You know what I mean? They be like, well, what's next never? I'm like, you call me back. And then I'll be like, hold on, talk to Tone. Click. And, you know what I mean?
February 32nd.
Exactly. That day.
He said, hang up. I'm going to talk to Tone. He'll be right with you. Click.
Dial tone. Yeah, that's an old one right there, boy.
So that's a low key advertisement for Studio B. Come with your money, hit producer by you on Instagram, Mr. Nerdine, and then if you're ready to really take this podcast thing to another level,
level up.
We got you.
So that's a Studio A, Studio B commercial. Now you talking about that, you got into podcasts as well as acting. Which lane would you want to go down first?
Believe it or not, I want to stay in both.
Okay.
But right now I want to focus on the acting because I got 4 movies that's kind of, about to pop and come out.
Okay.
I can always go back to the podcasting. So I had a podcast, Rich and Tim Unleashed, and I took a little hiatus because, when you're learning these characters and you're going into these scripts, you really got to focus, man. Because when I try and bring a character to life, I try and analyze, what's the character's background? What does he act like? Is he wild? Is he crazy? Is he like me or is he not like me? Because if he's like me, it's easier to play that part because it's me. But if it's somebody different, and I've been challenged with some of the roles I had. Recently, I played a guy named Ulysses. So Ulysses is an old black man that these 4 white kids meet in the woods as they're looking for their their old map that they had that
First of
takes
all-
them to this treasure.
First of all, what is Ulysses, old black man, doing in the woods? Let's talk about that.
Well, that's the funny part.
Right.
So my old black ass
Right.
with the southern accent is walking through the woods,
Uh.
and I got me a jug of shine, and I'm just minding my business.
Uh-huh.
I come across these 4 white folks, and I sit down, I give them a little piece of my mind. And I tell them about the old days and where they standing at, what that land meant. So I kind of went into that whole story, and it was just crazy, man, because it was challenging because for one with the accent, that wasn't the real accent, but for the accent, learning the lines, delivering it, the jug pop, it was just a challenge for me, bro. So the old man is just really in the woods, and it's kind of significant. It kind of lets people know that sometimes you can learn something from anybody, even an old man in the woods. So what was I doing there? They put me there in the movie. like we want to get deep about it. Like, yeah, old man, sit right here on this thing and tell your story.
See, what Ulysses could have been telling, he could have been talking to them 4 white kids, telling them, don't go down to the Alabama, bro. 'Cause you might get hit with a chair.
Yeah, but if you do, take this chair.
So that's really dope. Now, you talked about the acting in the sense of different roles. What are the 4 movies that you have coming out?
Right now, Liquor Run, as y'all know, if you haven't seen it, they got another screening coming out in New Brunswick, coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. Follow Boom, I'm sure he'll post it. Liquor Run, I play man number 1. So man number 1 is me and my wife, Evie. We are sitting at a diner, Grimm's Diner, and we talking to our person that helped us get this money, Mr. Mike Ross, comedian Mike Ross. And behind us is some unsavory people who hear what's going on, and then they want to get into the mix after we leave.
The ear hustler.
Yeah, the ear hustler. So, we drop this knowledge, they back there ear hustling, boom, 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 wah, 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 get the whole story, we leave, and then the movie kind of starts from there as they go into this, yo, man, what's going on with that? And then boom, they lay it out for you.
Got you. Liquor Run. We got, what else?
Liquor Run, we got Ulysses, which is the movie's called Time Capsule.
Time Capsule.
Then we're working on right now, believe it or not, I'm still screen testing, but I believe I have the role, Traffic Lane.
Okay.
I'm gonna play a traffic cop with 2 left feet named Herbert Lane. yeah, bro, that's what I said. I like challenges. So Herbert Lane is, everybody in this traffic unit has a certain disability. And I can't, obviously disclose too much, but everybody has a certain disability. Mine is I have problem with my feet.
Clearly.
Yeah.
And then the 4th one is what?
The 4th one right now is I almost drew a blank. The promotion movie. I'm sorry. The promotion movie written by Vernon Thomas, who also helped and co-wrote and wrote Liquor Run as well. So the promotion movie is a silent movie, and I can't say much about that, but it's based off of facial expressions. What you see in the scene that goes on. There's a lot of a story you could tell without words. And if they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, then what's a video or a movie?
That's really dope.
Feel me?
Yeah.
Anybody want to break that down? Y'all want to pause and analyze that? Pause, analyze that. Then get back to me. So that's the number 4. And I got some other stuff that I'm working on that I'm still, auditioning for. In this game, man, you get a lot of no's. And you get a lot of maybes. And to me, a no is a maybe, you just haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
So what they want to do is they want to screen test you, see what you look like, see how you deliver the lines, tell you, hey, do this or try this, and then see if you can do it. So anytime somebody throws something at me, I try my best to make sure that I do it the best that I can to my ability.
So me and you, let's take it back.
Yes, sir.
We have one actor, of actors in common is that, I interviewed Denzel and met him before.
Yes.
You actually acted in a movie with Denzel.
The Siege, yes, The Siege. So little role, he's running through traffic in New York right before the theater blows up. Lady comes out with her arm off. So Denzel runs down the side of my car and jumps over the hood of my car. So or maybe you don't know, in movies there's a lot of takes. So we did 30-something, 40-something takes, and you're never supposed to talk to the principal actor. So I'm sitting there like bubbling, like finally I just like, yo, Denz, what's up, man? How you doing? You all right? You got enough room? He just started talking. So I segued myself into like, okay, he talking. I didn't really start. I just asked if he had enough room. Then I was like, damn, if I could get an autograph for my wife, I'm gonna get some extra coochie coupons, right? So I had a napkin in my car, bruh. And I just so ever politely asked him, my man, can you sign this for me? I know I'm not supposed to do this. I said, if you do this, bro, I got coochie for the rest of my life. Like, she gonna put it all over my body from my head to toe. So Denzel signed it, bro. Real cool, real fly. Signed it. We talked, we laughed, we joked, man. But he was a real down-to-earth character. And on top of that, man, I really admire him as an actor too, because every role he plays, bro, it might be that same voice, but boy, you gonna get Denzel. You know, you're not gonna get nothing less than Denzel from Denzel.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I think that, you know, in me meeting Denzel, well, first off, did you really tell him I'm gonna get this coochie for the rest of my life?
Yeah, but listen, when you see me, I might be animated, but this is real stories. This is not no lies here, bro.
Okay. No, I'm asking that.
Receipts.
Yeah, I still got that
Call him
napkin.
right now.
It's in my safe. No, for real, I still have it, bro. I kept it.
I'm asking that because when I say that's a brother who love the only two people I know who love their wife more than how they breathe is Baif and Denzel.
Yeah.
Baif, he talk about his wife every podcast to the point where I'm talking about her on the podcast.
Whoa.
Respectfully. She's like the real hidden figure of the podcast. You know what I mean? One day we're gonna have her.
Is she gonna see this?
Yeah, she be watching.
Yeah.
Okay. She be invested.
Yeah. But Denzel will be in an interview. He could be like reporters around him. Where's my wife? If he can't find his wife, that brother love his wife. Yeah. So me thinking about everything is like he probably connected with. He's like, I understand my brother. Like so it's really dope. And like I said, when I met him, even in the short time I had with the brother, he was cool. And then I saw him after he had got a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's like, yo, what's up, man? He was like, yo, thank you, my brother. Just cool, down to earth. So he's not like this.
He's not Hollywood.
He's
not Hollywood. Man. And that helps for us brothers, because when you look up to somebody and they show you that they're different, then you kind of change your opinion about him. But he's who he is, bro.
And it's even more different because it's not. It's kind of like you get a Denzel or Chadwick was supposed to be that next guy, or who was it, Michael B. Jordan or somebody, and they only keep that one person up there for a while. Yeah. So it's cool that he never got lost in that space of Hollywood where he can still relate to you, because that's you the only person he get to see that they push out there like that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's really dope. Did your take make it in the movie?
Of course it did. Okay. And they did a double edit. So I'm in there twice. How nice is that, boy? Damn. I watched it, I said, damn, they made a mistake. So I watched, because back then, you still rent movies. So I was like, hold up.
Box.
Yeah, so I'm like, hold up. So now I went and got another copy. It was like, it's on this one too. Went and got another copy. It's on this one too.
Yeah.
So yeah, they did the double edit. So I'm in there twice.
That's what it is. That's a heck of a credit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Speaking of which, it's kind of dope that the original point I wanted to make is that we met both essentially. Well, I guess in that particular day, you had more of a main role the first day when you were shooting at the diner. But we met as an actor, as extras at acting. And it's dope to always be in the mindset of networking when you're on set, because it's tedious and sometimes you gotta do like the takes. So we did that one bingo scene. As crazy as that bingo scene was we probably did that like 10 times, 10, 12
at least
times.
10, 12 times, yeah.
It took 3 hours to shoot one scene. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, like I said, they edited that scene and they didn't even, I got lucky, I made the cut.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Because I was at the first table being the weed man, whatever.
I always sit and look and see where the camera's at, and then I position myself correctly.
Yeah, but seriously, like, you almost didn't make it. It's like you could shoot something, think you did the dopest thing, and then be like, "Dad, I didn't even make the cut."
Oh, I made the editing room floor a few times, brother.
Okay.
You go to see something, you're like, "Oh, this is the part." Oh, didn't even use that shit.
No, the craziest thing is I shot a Super Bowl commercial years ago, and it was just you in the football uniform, and then it was for Ronaldo. So he's like the #1 soccer player in the world.
Of course.
And we shot that joint in December. That's what made me kind of like start getting into acting a little bit. So we shot the commercial. It was in December for the Super Bowl. So it was like December 1st, cold as all.
Right.
They got the truck with the hot chocolate in it, and other than that, we was outside. But we had football uniforms, all that stuff on, and we was running around, so it wasn't as cold as it could be. But they had the one scene. They was like, "Yeah, we need somebody to slide on the turf. And I had to do that joint 15 times. When I talk about,
Ooh, yeah,
when I talk about
rug burn.
rug burn, but it made it into the commercial. It made it into the commercial. I was like,
it didn't make it in the commercial was your skin.
Yeah.
Everything else made it in, but not the skin.
Yeah. But
You don't need skin for this.
you don't need skin for this. But the dope thing, like I was saying, is that it made me like being out there, moving around, just being in the element. Obviously, I'm a former football player. Yeah. I was like, nah, I can do this. Like, if this is what it's about, I can do it. I gotta learn how to get paid to do it.
Right.
But it was really a dope experience to have that. How'd you get into the food industry?
You gonna like this story.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try and keep this short because this could be a long one. So I'm a 4th generation entrepreneur. My family was in business for over 75 years in Trenton, New Jersey. McRae brothers, we had carpet, landscaping, we painted bridges, we boarded up houses when they caught on fire, got raided by drugs. We did everything that the city asked us to do when they asked us to do it.
Okay.
When they paid us, we got paid for it when we got paid for it. So anyway, I ran the aspect of the oil business. Mm-hmm. So I was the dispatcher, the driver. I maintained the trucks, maintenance, which actually my old maintenance, my equipment meter guy was up here in Newark. Mm-hmm. So I used to bring the trucks up here to get service for that. And eventually, man, I got to a point where, as a student of the game, you reach a certain level where it's time to graduate. So I wanted to take over the business. My McRae brothers consisted of 3, my Uncle Dave, my Uncle Ernest, and my father, Luther McRae. So my Uncle Dave died first, so I kind of vied for his spot because he was the youngest and they gave him that title because he was the youngest. So I figured I could slide in there, make some changes with the business and help the business to grow. But my dad's twin brother was like, kind of one of the dudes was like, nah, I don't want Tim to do this and that. He's always trying to spend money. So any which way, I asked for a $1 raise. I went out and bought an oil truck, bro. I had some shoebox money. I used to be a pharmaceutical salesman. I won't tell you what pharmaceuticals I used to sell.
Understood.
But so I had
Ben Gay.
yeah, Ben Gay. I kept your joints loose. So basically, man, I had $16,000 saved up, and I went out and I bought this oil truck from an older white gentleman out of Bordentown. And I bought this oil truck in hopes to help my family expand their business. But I kept it on the side, so if they don't want to expand, I'm gonna go solo on my own. So I asked for a $1 raise, and I asked them to pick up my insurance, cover my insurance on the truck, and in return, I would hustle and do the outskirts, because they wanted to just do the city. Like I had them drivers that was greedy. We got paid by the stop. So back in the day, you was getting $5 a stop, but you're doing 300 stops a night. Yeah. That's good money. So it got to the point
with
where
the oil truck.
With the oil truck,
okay.
Yeah. But they were so close in proximity, like you could go on one street, stop the truck, and hit 4 or 5 houses with the hose, just pulling it from this house to that house.
Oh, so this is more like traditional before the heating oil.
Yeah, heating oil. I don't mean like the turbine. We was on the other end of it.
Okay.
But you're crazy. But so what happened was, my uncle wouldn't give me a $1 raise. 4 quarters, 10 dimes, 20 nickels. And I said to myself, damn, this is crazy. Like, I'm asking for $1. I'm gonna help y'all to expand to keep the name going, to keep the brand going, and maybe try and hit 100 years, because they already had 75 years in it. And I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna start my own business. I started Tim McRae Oil. So, starting Tim McRae Oil, I said, okay, I'm gonna do this for as long as I can. I know global warming is coming. I know global warming is real because I used to watch the numbers on what was doing with the oil. So when I went out on my solo career with the oil, I was doing 1 million gallons by myself. One man, one truck. You know what I mean? Doing 1 million gallons. And I always told my wife, when I get down to 200,000 gallons, I'm getting out the game. Man, 13 years later, that 200 gallon day hit. I said, oh, time to get out the game. So I started looking for things to supplement my income. So I looked at everything that's going to keep going no matter what. Drugs, alcohol, tobacco, and food.
And chocolate and tires.
That too. And the House of Boom.
Right, there you go.
That job's coming next.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I said to myself, I got to do something. So I was watching Food Network, and I was watching all the food trucks and how they was coming along in 2013. And I just said, you know what?
The Food Truck Network?
I'm sorry, the Food Network.
Okay.
My bad.
Yeah.
Food Network.
Yeah.
And I started watching the evolution of the food trucks. So when I registered my truck in my town where I'm at, There was no trucks registered. I think there was maybe 4 or 5 trucks registered at that time. So I thought of a name. I said, "Damn, I need a name that's going to be a rock star. It's got to stick out. It's got to pop. It's got to make people want to find out what's on it." Because I didn't want to put pictures of food on there. I didn't want to pigeonhole myself into the hot dog or the pizza man. So I said, "Damn, I'm sitting around." WTF came to mind. So I said, "Okay, where's the Fort? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?" And I was like, "Stupid. Where's the food?" Boom. There you go. So I said, "Where's the food?" And from there, I got the truck, went down to Florida. I had it custom built down there. And what I did with I shouldn't even tell this, but what I did with my insurance guy and my banker for my oil business, I told them I was buying a service truck to do heating work. Well, I didn't tell them I was putting a kitchen in it. So sometimes you gotta be creative. So my business partner at the time who ran the bank, his family actually owned the bank and he funded that whole deal for me. He wired the money to Florida. I bought this truck, had it custom built, drove it all the way back from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. No plates, no nothing. All the way back, we took our time. So I went with my cousin. We spent like 3 days on the road, stopped at different places. We had family, throughout the travels, and we just drove the truck back. And from there, we stopped at this gas station. I'll never forget it. We was right out on the borderline of Florida, Georgia, somewhere in there. I don't know where the gas station was exactly. So we went in. I remember what I got. I got gummy bears and a Hawaiian punch. And when I came back outside, bro, there was a line at the truck. And I looked up in the sky and said, "Creator, I don't know what you're telling me, but I hear you." And from there, WTF was born, and Where's the Food took off. The food truck did well. We did events all over. Actually, and shout out to Newark, man, the City Hall of Newark. They showed us so much love, bro. We was down there parking in front of their City Hall on the sidewalk. That's how much love they showed. They gave me a permit for the whole year. I couldn't get a permit in my own city of Trenton. I'm gonna say it again. I couldn't get a permit in my whole city of Trenton, but Newark showed me love and gave me a permit and put me out there and let me do whatever I wanted, bro. They didn't ask for no money or nothing, pay for the permits, make sure your health and stuff is in order, and I was out there rocking. So the food truck took off, and from there, man, it kept snowballing. So then what we started doing, we just going to events, and we messed with people. So I had a microphone on the truck and 2 speakers. So, people walking by, be like, "Yo, bro, I can hear your stomach growling. Why don't you pop on over and see what's going on?" Because everybody else in the food truck, and they'd be sitting in the window just looking. And we tried to attract them because I want to entertain people at all times. So if you're going to be entertained, you want to at least, let me go see what's on this truck. Because what they do, they stop and they look at the truck and they're like, "What the fuck?" I said, "Yeah, exactly. Come on over and see what we got." So after that, they was hooked. Once they tasted the food, that was it, bro. We was off to the races.
Did you ever make your way down to New Brunswick in the with the Rutgers and the food truck?
Nah, they wouldn't let me in that circle. Now Rutgers, let me tell you something. I'm gonna put this out there too. They had their own group of selective people from the fat trucks and all the fat shops. So they had their own little niche of people they worked in.
Right.
And when I came in, they was looking at me like, this a new guy, truck's a little loud. So I was probably at that time too much for them because they was really focused on the fat sandwiches and everything to do. But they had their own little niche of people from New Brunswick, and they knew I was an outsider.
You would have killed it if you would have been able to let you.
I'm still killing it.
I mean, no. I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying.
That college,
I would have blew up right there.
Like, cause did you ever go down to the New Brunswick?
Hell yeah.
They smooth put a little fence up, bro. I ain't gonna front. I ain't gonna drop no names either.
Yeah.
Thanks. I mean,
I want to though.
But they got done dirty at the end of it because once that real estate, all them real estates there, they kicked all of them out. Now it's a couple of them still around.
That's what they get. I ain't mad.
you heard it first.
Yeah, you heard it first, right here.
But that was a staple though. That was a staple.
Shout out to them, man.
And there's a even though you said you're brick and mortar now.
Yeah.
I always thought, storefront. I would love there's a spot and I'm probably giving away too much anyway.
Nah, go ahead,
but
'cause I'm listening real tough.
in a certain area.
Okay.
And that they're doing a lot of construction, but there's an empty lot right across from there. There's a lot of traffic that goes through there, and I always thought it would be a dope spot because there's another. If you don't care if I give another shout out to another food truck,
Man, please listen, bro. I share other people on my page, bro. If you go to my page, it's not all about me, man.
Yeah.
I show love to anybody, bro.
There's another food truck sister. Her name is I forget what her name is, but she has the food truck Taco Poppy. Oh my God. The chalupas, the chalupas be hitting. Like when I say Taco Poppy, chalupas be hitting. Like I'll be like my homegirl, who's another. It's kind of crazy. We talk about all this food. I'm big fitness and all this other stuff, but
Gotta eat.
My other homegirl, who's
feel your hustle, man.
She's a fitness instructor, and she put me on. And then like on Tuesdays, like even during the pandemic, because they had to switch up and put it at a different location I'd be up there on Tuesdays, like, yo, I just need that. I need that fix. Like that buffalo chicken chalupa. Big shout out to Taco Pop.
Food Tuesdays, Taco Tuesdays.
Taco
We was talking
Tuesdays.
about that, yeah.
But there's a place right there, and I'd be like, yo, it'd be perfect, and it'd be dope to like get some black vendors, see how much that lot costs, and just be like, yo, I don't know how they do it, like pay the rent and for the trucks to be there, and then everybody, I guarantee you, it'll be a dope spot. Yeah. But man, that's really dope. So what are just some of the specialties? Like, what are one or two of the things that people, when they come to WTF, with the food?
Well, first of all, I gotta talk about the wings, bro. Our wings will change your life. Change your life. Yeah,
Don't say that.
We have life-changing wings, bro. Our wings will change your life. So some of our top flavors: hot honey garlic, General Cho's. We got a cracked pepper parm. And when I say cracked pepper, I'm talking about the crack from the 80s. I ain't talking about the cracked black pepper. No, I'm joking. But anyway,
Man, you got crack in the batter
from the 80s, the good crack. You know, not the stuff with the procaine and all that other stuff in it. But yeah, so we got dope wing flavors, our cheesesteaks, bro. My man that makes them, like I said, everybody at our store cooks the same. So if somebody makes you something, you won't know who made it. It's going to be consistent. You know what I mean? So you don't know who made it. But the man that makes our steaks, my man Keon, that boy, man, when he make a cheesesteak, my thing with steaks are, if you eat a cheesesteak, there should be no fat pool. You know what I mean? You should get that big hunk of fat. We don't do that. We chop that joint up so tough that even if there's fat in there, it melts away and just becomes juice and flavor. So the cheesesteaks, our burgers, we use a butcher. So we're probably maybe in the area we're at, one of 8 restaurants that still uses a butcher. So our butcher burgers are 80-20 blend Angus to chuck, and the butcher's been around for 75 plus years. So, I mean, come on, he knows what he's doing. We pick our burgers up fresh every day. So I tell people, when you get a burger from here, if you were standing here yesterday, that burger could have kicked you. That's how fresh it is.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So that's some of the signatures. And then what we do is we do weekly specials. So with the weekly specials, we touch on where's the food. Because I never wanted to be pigeonholed into this guy's the hot dog truck, this guy. No, we did everything. So we try and keep a big spectrum of different foods that we do. And one I brought tonight, which we don't have on air yet, is the Orient Express. Okay. So the Orient Express consists of noodles, garlic, scallions, sesame seeds, some soy, 2 other ingredients I can't tell you, and our shrimp.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, he always hungry.
Now that's interesting. That I've never even heard. People. Well, I've heard of it, but it's like met somebody be like, oh no, we get our burgers from the butcher.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I don't do frozen burgers. Our burgers are made fresh every time we pick them up. Now sometimes if we're going over the weekend, we'll get what they call cryo packs. Yeah. So a cryo pack it's a fresh burger, but it's air sealed. So that way if you close for 2 days or something, I don't like for nothing to be not fresh, bro. I mean, when I go somewhere and people got to come to our restaurant and say, oh, the wait time, it's made fresh to order. What you want? This is not McDonald's.
I'll wait for a good burger.
That's what I'm saying. I tell people this is not fast food. This is fresh food, fast as we can. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you getting real fresh food, and we cooking it while you wait. You want to come back here, put an apron on, put a little bonnet on. You know what I mean? And you cook your own food. You know what I mean? So that's how fresh it is. So butchers, bro. I'm still big on butchers. And for our pork roll, as you know, Trenton is the capital of pork roll. So we got both pork roll companies there. Some people call it Taylor ham. We don't say that word. We use Case's pork roll. So our pork roll, when we do the pork roll sandwich, we got a heart attack burger that's about, everything on it is probably about 4.5, 5 pounds. And then we have a double heart attack, and then we have a Trenton burger. So the Trenton burger consists of an 8-ounce patty, 4 pieces of pork roll, 4 pieces of cheese, and a healthy handful of bacon.
So if you eat the heart attack burger, you better split that up. Don't try to eat that by yourself.
Well, this heart attack at least comes with a warning. We're going to tell you your food is ready.
Yeah.
So there's your warning. After you eat it, that's on you. But guaranteed meat sweats. Keep the paper towels around. Don't eat it on a hot day. Be somewhere where you get some water, and be close to a bathroom if you meat intolerant.
So you talk about all this butcher and then all this fresh and pork and the Taylor. No, we don't say that word. The fresh pork joint. But what about the fries? Like how you do these fries? Because the fries make a difference. If you gonna go there,
now listen.
The shirt says fries included. I'm a fried connoisseur.
Okay, so
That's the first thing I learned how to cook.
I like the fact that you're a fried connoisseur. So we use a crinkle cut 1/2 inch fry.
Okay.
But it's the seasoning that we put on it. So this old restaurant, when we was in the oil business, my uncle knew all the spots to eat. And there's this guy had a steak, it was called Famous Steakhouse, no longer there in Trenton. But he brought me in the back and he always told me the ingredients he put on his stuff. And I remember that from, I think the first time I met him, I was 7 years old. And I remembered everything he said. So I put that mix together, we use it on our steaks, and then we have a variation of that we use on our fries. A lot of people think it's Old Bay, they think it's crab seasoning. We just laugh when they ask, because they always like say it like we're gonna tell them what it is. That's not gonna happen. But the fries included things started as a joke, because everything we do comes with fries. So people come in and be like, you don't have onion rings, you don't have potato salad, you don't have macaroni salad? And I would look them dead in their face. I'd be like, I've thrown away potato salad, I've thrown away macaroni salad, I've thrown away coleslaw, but I ain't never thrown away a frozen bag of French fries. You wanna know why? Because we cooked the order. So if you don't buy that potato salad that you say you want, and then I make a whole 10 pounds of it, and it turned brown, green, and yellow, and all this other stuff, and I gotta throw it out, that's why we do the fries included.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a combination meal, so that way you're getting your money's worth.
So is it like you get regular and then you get the seasoned or some type of fry?
Well, some people, you can get no seasoning on it, because some people don't. It does have a high sodium content. I have to put that warning out there. But at the same time, you know, it's fries, man. I don't know about you. I don't like potatoes. I like French fries.
Yeah.
To be seasoned.
Okay.
Because people say, yo, let me get some salt and pepper. I just look at them like, nah, bro. Taste that first. Then as soon as they taste it, they walk away, don't ask for no more salt and pepper ever again.
Okay.
Because I don't know why, brothers, why do we put pepper on our fries so much, bro? Why do we need pepper on our fries? Can somebody tell me? I don't know. Anyway.
A little bit of zest.
Zest. On a French fry, I want salt. I want the potato to pop.
I feel you.
Gotcha.
I feel you.
Say you look that way, we don't got lost in this conversation.
Yeah, my
And
bad.
I forgot. We got
talking
producer. We got
fries.
producer segment question. We got producer segment question.
it's all
If wife is ready, you know,
Definitely
because
ready.
and he a foodie too.
Okay.
We had somebody here last week. They must have talked for an hour about food. Like the
I
whole.
could do it. That's what I'm
They
trying to-
talked about food and recipes.
I know I want to try and hit the point. So I don't want to get too deep.
Nah,
now.
so I know he ready to jump in on some of this.
Yeah. Talk to me.
Let me.
Yeah, do you think, brother? I'm going to go ahead and wet my lips. 'Cause my lips get dry. I don't know. These bright lights in the house of boom, man. When I tell you, this is a dope set, man. I don't mean to keep saying it, but this is a really dope set. Do y'all, is
appreciate
anybody looking at this? Do anybody see any of this?
Look at all this marvel.
Do y'all see this?
Marvelous. Marvelous.
I appreciate the
Damn, Jimmy.
I appreciate the love that you have for all of the different off ramps that you participate in, that you put your energy into. You don't seem like the type of person that takes shit lightly.
Nah,
it's
bro.
like, all right, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. If I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. So I appreciate that. And when it comes to food, I used to be almost 250 pounds, 243 pounds, right? So the fat man lives in my body. Like still to this day, me and Boom be trading stories about all kinds of food. Not food related, but this is a two-part question or two questions. First question, have to know. Do you know the exact timestamp that your cameo is in The Siege?
Ooh, wow. No, I don't. And probably because I didn't sit during editing.
Yeah.
But once again, I'll tell you the scene. It's right before the theater, a bomb goes off.
Yeah.
And in that theater, a lady comes out of the side steps and she's missing an arm. Directly after that scene, boom, Denzel comes running through traffic, and then you'll see me there twice in the movie. But no, I don't know the timestamp. I wish I did, but I do, and I have downloaded it before on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then I have, tools to strip and grab things, and I grabbed that scene and I posted on my social media.
So we're gonna get it.
Yeah, we definitely gonna get it. And if not, I'm gonna show you where it's at.
And my second question,
Yes, sir.
the inspiration behind the menu itself. Is it a rotating menu? Is it these are the staples? What's the inspiration behind the menu? And yeah, that's really it. What's the inspiration behind the menu?
I'm glad you asked that. It's a very good question. What's behind the menu, honestly, is the 5 years we were a food truck. every event we go to, we test out different stuff. And whatever sold out first, we just look at each other on the truck like, that's going on the menu. You know what I mean? Like, we'd all, it didn't matter where we was out in the truck, something sold out, we look at each other like, that's going on the menu. So that's what happened. So when we were testing things out in the market, because I'm a firm believer in testing products. Like I said, I used to come from the pharmaceutical world. So I used to give out testers. Because I know once I give you that tester, you definitely going to be hitting my beeper.
Coming back.
You notice I threw beeper in there.
Beeper.
Coming back.
So the menu items really came from testing them with the crowds, going to different events, parties, private events, whatever people loved. And yo, I love that. You should make that again. And as soon as they said that, we just, okay, it's going on the menu. I get real quiet, just look at them. Yeah. It's going on the menu. Okay, what'd you say? That's going on the menu. And we compromised the menu based off that. Plus, we wanted to save room for other stuff. Because when you do like soul food, that's a labor of love, bro. And the way I was taught and the way that we did soul food from the way my mom did it, soul food took 48 hours to 24 hours to make. You can't make soul food in 15 minutes. Like, if mom made greens for Thanksgiving, she ain't do them on Thursday. She did them on Tuesday, Wednesday. They gotta sit. You know what I'm saying? They gotta sit in jail. Macaroni salad. You can't make that in 5 minutes of service. She made that the day before. So we wanted to make things quick because in the food truck industry, you have to get your serve times down to about 2 minutes. And that's what we did. We were right around 1:52, which means you do a lot of prepping, but if you're looking at a line and you know how many people's in that line, I would slow walk the line by obviously running my mouth, which I'm good at.
Right.
I would slow walk the line so we had people, boom, we was getting them in and out. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, I got guys in there, they cooking. We just getting them in and out. But the main thing is everything came from what the people wanted. So they really selected what they wanted. Because for most of these events, if you went to them, they would give you a list of things you could not make. So you sitting there as a food vendor, and let's just say I came to the Newark House Festival out here in the park last week, and they wanted me to bring something, but they gave me a list of what I couldn't make. You're looking at the list, no hamburgers, hot dogs, sausage, french fries. You're like, so right away you had to go to something. That's why we called ourselves Where's the Food. We go to a soul food menu, or I do Spanish dish, or I do rice and beans, or I do pernil, or I do whatever. And they'd be like, well, where'd you come up with that menu? You gave me a list of 20 things I couldn't do. So I had to come up with 10 that I could make money on at this event. So really a lot of it came from testing the market with the product, with the people, because I believe the feedback from the people is going to tell you the truth.
Facts.
I don't care if I'm out there selling pigtails. If people ain't buying pigtails, what's the point?
Yeah.
I'd be a fool to come back and sell some more pig ass. Chitterlings.
Last question. And
Chitterlings.
I hate chitlins. The first time
The smell.
I swear,
Smell.
the first time I smelled somebody making chitlins, I was at my homeboy crib. I'm like 10. The crib smelled like
It was traumatized.
doodle sandwich. like a straight up doodle sandwich. And I'm like, what is that? He's like, oh, my mom's making chitterlings. I'm like, and it smell like, do it taste like that? Yeah. Nah, I'm good. Yeah. Last question. Is your restaurant a dine-in or is it a dine-out restaurant?
Unfortunately, right now, we're looking for a dine-in location, but we are a takeout location. That address, once again, if I didn't say it already, 102 Washington Crossing, Pennington Road in beautiful Pennington, New Jersey, 08534. You can follow us on the gram at WTF_food truck. But we're looking for a sit-down location. That's our next stop. But right now, believe it or not, man, with the real estate boom, a lot of the people who are holding on to old restaurants are not letting them go. So in my town where I'm at, which is Ewing, Trenton, there's a lot of facilities that are empty, but the people that own them don't want to let them go. So they're sitting there holding these buildings for 8-10 years. Meanwhile, they're getting dilapidated. Raccoons are in there chilling on the grill. And it's just like, let go of it. But I don't know why they won't let go. But God willing, I know the Creator has something out there for us. So I'm gonna be patient. It's been 10 years. We're on our 10-year anniversary, as the shirt says. So it's been 10 years. So I know it's coming. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can't rush stuff. And I've rushed into other buildings, bro, and I put money down and spent money on lawyers and surveys, and I'll never do that again, bro. We spent on one building that we had on we call it Restaurant Row in our town, Olden Avenue. I spent maybe almost $10,000-$15,000 on a lawyer. I won't do that again. Yeah. Unless I'm buying that spot, I'm not going through any more headaches. I'm not wasting any more money. The next thing that the Creator sends to us, We're going to buy it, own it, and obtain it because that's my goal. I want to be like McDonald's. I want to own my properties. So when I put my next 20 years in this business and I want to get out, whether it's a franchise or property, I can always sell that, take that money, and move on.
Yeah.
No, that's really dope. I actually was, because I told you I do Uber, Lyft.
Yeah, so do I
sometimes,
as well.
And I'm like, when you was talking about it, I'm like, oh, I always see these buildings that's just like old restaurant. It's one in Jersey City on 440. It's right by, I guess, what is it? Not Stop and Shop. I forget whatever whatever they changed over there. It used to be like A&P, then they changed over.
Right, lie down, whatever.
And it's right there on the island by itself. And I'm like, I'm surprised nobody has bought it. But now that you bring it to mind that people are actually probably somebody just holding on to it to wait.
And not only that too, bro, COVID scared the mess out of everybody who wanted to jump in the restaurant business or people that wanted to expand.
How did you do during COVID?
You're going to like this. So at COVID, we had another location in Ewing on Parkway Avenue, the place I was at for 5 years. So it was a 1,200 square foot trailer, and I had outdoor seating, no indoor seating, but we had a drive-through. Man, that drive-through, boy, let me tell you something. We had that drive-through pumping. People would be lined up all the way to the street, and people like, yo, how was you doing it over there? Now, mind you, the gas station was closed. Only thing in there that was open was us. And I drove them there through social media, the little commercials that I did, my little WTF comedy skits, and the grace of God, man. The creator really looked out for. So COVID, but I had friends that was losing their businesses and going out of business. We made so much money. Look, I'll take 2 more COVIDs right now. But just put me back in that property. Don't put the one on that now.
We're not gonna speak no more COVID into existence. But I do find it like it's crazy that we have that. I'm glad that you were able to survive and pull through COVID. I guess getting down to getting close to the end of our questions. One that was, are you a mad scientist? When you go back to that approach, are you a little bit of a mad scientist, or are you strategic when it comes to like you're like, oh, let me try this, or do you like have that enough history, or like you said, Food Network, all that good stuff, where you said, I know these blends go together, and we'll make this.
I'm a strategic mad scientist. I just had to combine the two because you said it, and I'm a strategic because I always believe you got to try stuff. You got to try it, and if this guy's doing something over here to the right, I'm gonna go left. So yeah, I like to consider myself a strategic mad scientist.
Got you. And then
if that makes any sense, it makes sense to me.
It makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. You talked about soul food being a labor of love.
Yeah.
I realized that a lot of soul food restaurants have become very generic.
Speak on it. I'm glad you said that.
Who are in your upper echelon of like soul foods, like they really get it, of restaurants besides yourself?
In my area,
Yeah.
I'd have to say the Big Easy, man. The Big Easy, Ugabala and his brother Saladin, they own a restaurant called Maze, Illa Maze, and they also own the Big Easy. They've been doing soul food for 40 plus years. And when I say it's a labor of love, they know what they're doing. Okay. That's one of the reasons. It's guys like that who open the door for young men like us to come and do the food trucks, to do the sandwiches and stuff like that. Because like I said, that soul food thing, man, you up early in the morning and you there late at night. You know, with sandwiches, I can pop in and out, boom, 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 here you go, it's on its way. But like I said, when you're waiting on something for 48 hours, you know, you can get your mac and cheese in 45 minutes. But greens and stuff like that, man, they really take time. And when people start mass producing something, you're gonna miss out on the flavor. I'd rather wait. You know, I'd rather wait. When it comes to soul food, if somebody told me they're about to whip up some soul food, I'm leaving. You know, you tell me you're gonna grab a pizza, I'll wait. But you say, oh, I'm about to whip up some soul food. I'm gonna smooth, ease out the door. You're gonna be like, I'm gonna do an Irish exit. You're gonna look around, where'd Tim go? Oh, somebody said these days about to whip up some soul food. Yeah, I'm out.
You out.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. There's no such thing as fast soul food.
Right.
There's no such thing. I don't care what nobody say.
So if you was a rapper, right, I would ask you, could you do a freestyle? But seeing that you are musically inclined, you're actively inclined, can you give us a sample of Bad Business
Oh, Bad for Business Bilal?
But Bad for Business Bilal. So he does his own commercials. He does his own advertising, and it's dope that when you're acting and cooking, you can create your own commercials and be able to put content out there for your stuff. And so he has a character called Bad for Business Bilal, and so here's the camera and action.
Yeah, so Tim, see you making all this food, but you ain't giving me nothing yet. I know you need a taste tester back there. Yo, Bilal, what you talking about, man? You always come around here trying to bum something. What you doing right now? Man, I'm sitting out here trying to catch some of these rays. Rays? Bilal, you mean UV? You mean ultraviolet? Yeah, Tim, you know what I'm talking about. I don't like you. You talk too much. Where's Miss Whitehand? And you ever see that commercial? I mean, that's, you know, a run of it. But if you ever see the commercial, it's funny, bro, because Bilal's really, he's ignorant, but he's intelligent. You know what I mean? But he always says stuff like crazy, like, you know, with the rays. When I'm writing this stuff, and I'll read it to a friend, they be like, ooh. I'm like, yeah, UV, like ultraviolet. Like, you don't get it? And then once you play it out, then once they see it, then they're like, oh, damn, that was dope. Yeah, I was trying to tell you that, stupid.
So tell everybody who Bad for Business Bilal. I mean, the name, it's in the name, but tell everybody who he represents.
So Bad for Business Bilal is that guy that comes to your business that hangs out too late, always wants something for free. Every time there's an open door or a truck, like you unload something, he just pops up. And you don't want to really leave the truck because you're afraid he's going to steal something. So you kind of like shut the door, lock the door, take the food back in, come back out, unlock the door, open the door again, because you really can't trust him, you know what I mean? He's scaring your customers, you know, the pretty ladies, he's always trying to holler at them, touch on them and stuff. He's just that guy that's bad for business, so I named him Bad for Business Bilal. So he's basically the Debo of WTF. That's what the character, you know, was stripped from.
Yeah. Or like the character from I'm Gonna Get You Sucker.
Yeah, exactly.
Chris Rock.
Exactly.
Pour it in my hand for.
Exactly. He's that dude that's just like, you know, you got other customers around, and you're like, damn, I wish Bilal wasn't here right now. Like, you know, it's that friend that you take somewhere, never dressed right, funky, got a hole in his shirt, his shoes all dirty. You go in a nice place, like, bro, you don't have nothing else you can put on. You don't really want to say that to him, but you be like, yo, bro, like, look at everybody, like. You know, we clean, got cologne, oils on, you know, Muslim up, whatever. And you just rag. You just Bad for Business Bilal.
Sweatpants and suit jacket.
Yeah, suit jacket with a sweat
Bad for Business Bilal is the dude that come around, be slow all day. Then you get a rush, and all of a sudden, here he come on the bike.
There you go. Here he come. You be sitting around doing nothing, and then he pops out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yo, we ain't got enough time in the day to really, we could be talking. That's great. Tell everybody where they can find you one more time. Everything that you're doing. We did the movies already, but just the Instagrams and anything that's important.
No problem. Well, first of all, I want to thank House of Boom for having me, because, man, what this guy got going on here, if you ain't getting on this show yet, y'all better start trying to get a hold of this guy, because he's going to be booked up to Neverwary. To Neverwary. So basically, you can find me on Instagram. I like for everybody to go there. Facebook is for old people, but I do all my magic on Instagram. You can still find me on Facebook, but let's start with Instagram. WTF_food truck, spelled out FOODTRUCK. Or just Google, where's the food? We get over 72,000 impressions per month. We should pop up on the top of your feed. If we don't, you're doing something wrong. So once again, WTF_food truck. Google us, check out the commercials, YouTube, everything is WTF. Facebook, WTF food truck, look us up. There's a few out there now, but just when you look, make sure you look for that red and black logo. All right, that WTF explosion. You know my old Batman head, so we'll talk about that on the next episode. All right?
On the next episode, Tim, definitely gonna have you back again.
Thank you, brother.
I think we're gonna have maybe a few minutes to show you a food shot.
Oh, we're gonna do some food and we're gonna do some liquor too, because we kept this one mild.
Yeah.
Next time we're gonna get a little wild. Now I got a feel for y'all, yo. We're gonna tear the room up.
Have some stances in the background.
Yeah.
Snatching the stack off the top of your head.
Yeah, bring Bilal out.
Well, he must have played it. I think we want to make it look good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the beautiful thing is, the House of Bible, we are very transparent. So we take y'all in front of the scenes, behind the scenes with us. But I just want to thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. at the House of Bone Podcast on all platforms. Make sure y'all follow WTF Food Truck. Make sure y'all tap in with Studio B, producer by Eve, and everything that got going on here. This is the House of Bone Podcast, and we are out. Peace.
Boom.
Oh yeah. What we did. I wrote
Nope, we're gonna do another one. We're gonna give him
another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we gotta pause. We are off live for a minute.
Nah, this is.
I'm still live.
Same.
I just wanna make sure my lips
premise.
sync.
Same premise from this is Tim McRae. Y'all know what it is. You know who I am. What it is. Welcome to the House of Bone.
This camera right here?
The crazy one though.
Okay.